I met Jaysin Strife through Eugene, Nick Densmore in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, wrestling for Midwest All-Pro. He was my second ever match in Sisseton, South Dakota. It was him as Yellow Dog with Cold Stone Tim Boston, and then myself and my partner Captain Chaos. And I just remember it's my second match, and I'd been wrestling for about a month, and I just remember him screaming at me through that mask. And I have no idea what he said. Still to this day don't, but I mean, it was at the beginning. Then through the years, he brought me in for MAGNUM Pro to wrestle with the Snake Pit. He was the first person to ever give me a shot at outside of my state, and the first person to ever pay me for wrestling. I got to run there for several years, running with the Snake Pit, and then he kept coming to South Dakota and wrestling in a Midwest All-Pro. I was lucky enough to run a storyline with him and another guy, Hades, that culminated in a cage match where he told me he had to get color because the tights he was wearing, he'll get extra money for them if they just have some blood on them. So he just had us throwing him back and forth through that cage. Then in the last couple years here, we were going up to North Dakota together, long trips up there. The funniest part, one time that we had going up there, it was Nate sitting in the back seat giggling like he normally does, and then you had Brixton Nash behind me, and McGregor's in the front seat with me, and we're all messaging this same fan, and Nate is in the back seat just politicking his way to have an extra up on every one of us, and to get like to this kid's realm that he was like a Polka G Kitty 6 or something, and he just had to be better than the rest of us, and just message over and over. But that's about all what I have off the top of my head.
So being in the ring with him, what about his guidance and teaching styles are going to stick with you? Stick with you the rest of your career?
He really showed me how to slow it down. Within the last couple of years, I always move fast in the ring. Always have. It's hard for me to slow down. But he really slowed down, and I really started to learn at that point, about 4 years in. And I remember him putting me in places where he needed me at times, and explaining to me why we did it that way, and why he wanted me to do it that way.
And then finally, if there's one more thing that you could say to him, what would it be?
A couple months ago, I took a picture of a wiener dog hood ornament on a semi, and I just kept on pushing it off to sending that to him, and I just wish I would have sent it to him.
In your thanks to him, like, if you could directly say something to him.
Thank you for giving me a shot, and all the young boys that are coming after me out of South Dakota. We would have never got here if he wouldn't have let us in.
Anything else you want to say?
No.